A guy is hired to paint lines on a little country road. So the boss gives him a big can of paint, a brush, and sends him out. Reminds me of an old acronym saying for the US Marine muscles are required. Intelligence not essential. As a painter, I approve this message. You would be surprised how many people dip the 9-inch roller and then walk to the other side of the house. A new Navy recruit has his first day on the submarine. The irony is that this joke is actually a repost too. So do people actually look up the numbers of the jokes or just make something random up like yep? Good old 5,551,234. I do see how lazy it is. I just want to add to the joke. Typical substandard joke. There should be a bot automatically deleting reposts in this. This is ridiculous and just asking for upvotes and attention. I am assuming this is a repost itself, but I've never heard it so have an upvote. A reposted joke about reposts. NGL, this is smart. Oh my gosh. The sun was the SS Reddit. 3,247. A guy goes into a restaurant for lunch. Eddie Murphy version. Shorter version by Eddie Murphy in Coming to America closing credits. What do you know from Funny Ya Bastards? A much more Jewish version of this is in a joke book from the 60s we had when I was a kid. Larry Adler's jokes and how to tell them. That one ends with a ha. Could have saved a few paragraphs if he asked for the spoon sooner. Last line could also be, the man shouted, aha. If you didn't receive any type of medical intervention, what age would you have naturally died? At birth, my umbilical cord was around my neck. 16-yo, epilepsy. Without medical intervention, some 30 of us would be dead of smallpox before 20 years old. 17, stage 4U cancer, I'm still here. Age 4, huge asthma attack. Birth, I was a breached baby feet first, or 10 because I had a mini stroke, or 14 because I'm diabetic. I had the widowmaker artery blocked and would have just dropped over dead at 58. I was a runner at the time, so it was a huge surprise. In hindsight, all these sneaking love potions into drinks fairy tales are creepy AF. As mentioned, the Disney ones can be pretty bad already, but keep in mind, those are the severely sanitized fairy tales. Traditional ones tend to be way worse. I don't think any of them are what we would consider wholesome family again. They weren't supposed to be. They're cautionary moral tales. I read a manga recently where one of the side characters used a love potion on their unrequited love. It was made obvious in the narration boxes that the love potion was just a very, very powerful aphrodisiac, and the target ended up assaulting the character who used it. But I guess that was the goal all along. Most airport restaurants wouldn't survive outside the airport because planes would keep landing on them. If they were outside the airport, they wouldn't cost as much. Someone hasn't been to New Orleans Louis Armstrong Airport. The food in this airport is better than anything in most cities. Come to Minneapolis, St. Paul, where most of the restaurants in the airport are actually operated by real local restaurants that are doing fine. Several of the restaurants at the airport near me are just chains that survive just fine outside the airport. It's just paying the airport rent that makes them raise their prices. Same with the food vendors at big concerts and music festivals. My girlfriend dressed up as a policewoman and told me I was under arrest on suspicion of being good in bed. Your girlfriend couldn't find any hard evidence. Good thing you were able to escape conviction with just 2 minutes of interrogation. Sounds like you violated the penal code. Got off easy. Find yourself a good female lawyer. She'll get you off. Not mine, but too good to not post. Last time I saw this joke, I laughed so hard, I fell off my dinosaur. These allegations would never stand up in court. Your girlfriend does get best work undercover. Trying to see the dad joke here. I told the joke to my husband, he wasn't laughing. This is more of an uncle joke, too risque for children. TIL after an IVF mix-up, two mothers gave birth to each other's babies. 4 months after giving birth, the California family swapped babies to return the children to their rightful parents. What? You've already started bonding. Tough. Start again. The Cardinales and the Des are now suing CCRH for medical malpractice. They are seeking damages for the emotional and financial hardship they have experienced. Luckily, both the couples had babies. Imagine if only one did and had to give the baby to the other couple. Wow, what a horrible situation. This was 2 years ago. Any updates? Early exchange student. This was an episode of Dinosaurs. Till so long, and thanks for all the fish was written by Douglas Adams when his editor Sonny Mehta locked him in a hotel room to force him to write it after becoming fed up with Adams constantly procrastinating and failing to meet deadlines. I like his quote, "I love deadlines. I love the whooshing noise they make as they go by." One of Douglas Adams' editor's publishers saying he was the only guy who made novel writing a spectator sport because they would have to stand over him as he typed to make sure he finished his books. Here is a quote from Adams about the incident. Sonny Mehta locked me in a hotel room and said, "You're not coming out until you've finished the book." I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. I had to write the book in 2 weeks. TIL the CIA accidentally left explosives in the engine of a school bus. The bus was in operation for 2 days, carrying kids, before the explosives were discovered by mechanics. Why did the CIA put explosives in a school bus? Where else are you supposed to keep your explosives? I bet the guy who left them there still gets shit about it at parties. How was this an accident? That doesn't reflect very well on the bomb-sniffing dogs either. The Culinary Institute of America has certainly been branching out. What kind of bombs were involved? And were they retrieved before they'd melted? The invention of text messaging was absolutely life-changing for deaf people. Can confirm, daughter is deaf, game changer. As someone who isn't deaf, I can't confirm. Also great for stutterers. TTY is amazing for those who need to use the phone. That was a long time ago and was part of the American Disability Act. Not only for them, for all of us. Imagine a world without it. Then we probably would not have mobile phones and would not be reachable 24/7, but one can dream. And video calling for sign language. And voice support for blind persons. Not just deaf people. I have had surgery on my tongue for cancer and speaking is a challenge for me. What is the dumbest thing people called you gay for? I was called gay for showering daily. I was a child in the 80s. Calling people gay was standard derogatory talk for checks, notes, literally everything. Bad play in sport, choice of clothes, hobby, etc. Like giving oral to my wife. Will never understand that. As a little boy I played the flute, got called gay and teased hard for it. I was actually really good too in elementary school and was handpicked in the 5th grade to perform for my county along with other selected students. But the name calling got the better of me. I have always regretted never continuing with the flute in middle school and onward. I sometimes wonder how far that would have gotten me lol. Without prior medical imaging, you don't know if you have 2 kidneys. The prior imaging will have been done before you're ever born. During the anatomy scan around 20 weeks gestation. My friend in college found out when he was in high school that he had only one. His parents knew through birth checkups, but they didn't tell. His doctor was surprised during medical sonography. I found out I have 3 after multiple kidney stones, one small one sitting on the other. Urologist said that it's not uncommon and impossible to know unless they have to perform surgery. Literally 2 weeks ago, I got an ultrasound to see if I had both kidneys. I do. And I'm a little disappointed. We discovered my sister only has one, and it's almost double the size of a normal one. With something that everyone uses on a daily basis, but has no actual practical use. Meetings that could have been emails. Neckties. Fabric softener in the washer. Waste of money and actually destroys your clothes. Weakens the fibers, adds residue and perfume on your clothes. The majority of the adds a risk of making clothes less breathable by removing the ability for the fabric to reduce moisture from the skin. Bed skirt. Social media. Obviously, it's a great networking tool for some careers, but the average user is harmed by it. Doctor's appointments that could have been a phone call or a message on my cart, such as bringing you in to tell you your results, are normal fine. Hi? People of Reddit who have lost a lot of weight. What was the game changer? Quitting booze after decades of being an alkie. For me, the game changer was regular exercise. When I don't get regular exercise, I crave garbage all day, anything heavy and salty, burgers, cheese fries, burritos, pizza. But when I get regular exercise, I crave only clean foods, grilled chicken breast, salads, grilled vegetables, foods with nutritional value. I don't know why that is, but it created a positive feedback loop for me. The more activity I got, the less food I craved and the better quality food I craved. Till a suicide bomber was thwarted by an Afghan stray dog which barked and snarled at the man, which caused him to prematurely detonate at the entrance. The dog was then flown to the US and appeared on Oprah and was adopted. However, she was captured and euthanized by mistake at an animal shelter. Well, that was a depressing roller coaster. War veteran falls through cracks in the system, ends up homeless and dies as a result. Well, at least we're treating animals as well as humans nowadays. That is the complete antithesis of standard shelter protocol. Then again, shelters wouldn't have the overcrowding issues if more people would just spay-neuter and stop buying designer breeds from unethical breeders' puppy mills. TAL that Julie Kavner has a clause in her Simpsons contract that she doesn't have to promote herself on camera as Marge's voice. I remember when the cast were all on inside the actor's studio. Kavner kept her head down and barely talked. Then about a third of the way through, she just disappeared and never came back. In an interview with the New York Times, Kavner said that she does not like to talk about her work on The Simpsons because she does not want to be defined by it. She said, "I'm not Marge Simpson. I'm Julie Kavner." An article from 1992, 31 years ago. Wow. When I saw the movie Awakenings, every time she spoke, all I heard was Marge Simpson. Kavner, I've been calling her Crandall. TAL that then Congressman and future Vice President Dan Quayle was invited to investigate Jonestown with fellow Congressman Leo Ryan, but declined. That declination ended up saving his life, as Ryan was later assassinated in Guyana. Back in the days when misspelling a word could ruin your chances for the presidency. If you're not familiar with the Jonestown Massacre, it is horrifically fascinating. I believe it's the origin of the phrase "drink the Kool-Aid" in reference to embracing a belief system. The fact that they killed a member of Congress, while shocking, is just the tip of the iceberg on the crazy stuff that cult was up to. TILMRL are men of retirement age who spend their time watching construction sites, especially roadworks, stereotypically with hands clasped behind their back. Can't wait to join their ranks. Wow! Work sites in the city counting the number of trucks in and out to ensure materials were delivered, removed according to the receipts, and guarding against theft when the site was otherwise unattended. In Brittany, France, the retired fishermen always come to help unload the fishing boat. The fishermen can then sell their catch sooner on the market and move the boat from the unloading docks faster. Better prices for the exchange they get la gadale, which is a bag of fish, crabs, depends what the boat brought. Wait for the boat clasping their hands and chatting. The spoon. My consultant told us to lay flat on the public bathroom's floor, face up, and wiggle until it goes back into the pants. Super efficient since we no longer have to mop. See, we were always told to squat down and dip into the ice bucket they use to refill the soft drink. Machine, shrinkage pops it right back in your pants. Just don't get your string caught on the bucket handle. The scoop of the day. So the customer got spooned, I guess. I can't speak for the rest of the staff, but I used the spoon. Genuinely laughed. Haven't seen this in the sub before. Saved this it very much. Would 3 seashells work? Should add a line where the guy starts to use the spoon first. I wonder if he has a straw in his pocket too. Tom Cruise once told Seth Rogen that if he knew what Scientology was really about, it would blow his mind. If Scientology isn't about what it is commonly known for, then what is it really about? Complete exploitation of our legal system to protect against nearly any crime. I read Going Clear a couple months ago, and man, Scientology is so much more wild and insane than people know. It's not just a religion, it's literally these people's whole lives' work. Social, religion, everything. It's about control. I like South Park's episode about Scientology. That's all I'm going to say. A way to spoil rich people, while making poor people give money to level up. 2 high school graduates are discussing their future college plans. The first says, "I'm planning on going into farming. It's what my father did and it makes good money." The second asks, "What type of farming? Wheat, corn, livestock?" Such a paltry answer. He doesn't know beans. Legend has it he is outstanding in his field. The real joke is saying that farming makes good money. It's a field of dreams. Farming is a trough life. It's a cultivating answer. You absolute bastard, take yadim upvote. Orchards could also be an option. Yeah, there are a lot of fields, so what? I hated this joke at first, but now it's growing on me. What celebrity death seems a bit too suspicious? Brittany Murphy for sure. Natalie Wood. Dorothy Kilgallen, reporter and TV personality, died under mysterious circumstances while investigating Kennedy's assassination. George Reeves, the guy who played Superman in the 50s. There were a bunch of people in his house the night he died, and a lot of conflicting stories. Also, he was having an affair with a studio exec who was in attendance with his husband that night. Also, forensics disagree with the testimony of the witnesses. It's all a clusterfuck. What is your if I win the lottery purchase? A simple cabin in the woods. I'm fucking tired of my life right now. I just want to hang out with my dog while picking chanterelles. Purchase. Now, I'd fund story-rich, adventurous treasure hunts. Some on the local level. Others that would span the world. A fucking reliable car. My shit is fucking broken down right now, waiting on a tow truck. Buy my mama a house, spend the rest on PCP. Pay off teeth, finally. See the car and house that I can still afford if I didn't have any money at all. Really expensive Dijon ketchups. A fuck off leave me alone sign. An ocean view house on Vancouver Island. I would go to a Barrett Jackson auction and buy a fully restored antique car.